I'm Teresa, and I'm in the bowling business. All of the bowling centers in New York State have been closed since March due to COVID-19. But I'm here to share that we are ready to reopen and we're safe, sanitized, and ready to roll.
Since we've been closed, my colleagues and I across the state have spent our time cleaning, sanitizing, and retrofitting our centers to help ensure a safe and fun experience for when we reopen. When you visit, you'll see an increase of display signs reminding everyone to be wise, sanitize, and maintain social distance. We've added printed signs, floor decals, and have safety messages on screens throughout our centers. Don't just take my word for it. Here are a few of my fellow bowling proprietors from across New York State.
We're keeping our customers and our staff safe with mandatory face masks and temperature checks before every shift.
Put plexiglass guards at the front desk to lessen the contact between you and our employees.
Open bowlers. Don't worry, house balls and rental shoes will be sanitized before and after each use.
We've set up hand sanitizing stations throughout our bowling center.
We're blessed with a lot of space here, so we could do this right.
There's plenty of room to be socially distant.
A pair of lanes is 11.5 feet wide. With every other lane closed, owners say social distancing is achieved.
We rearranged our furniture so that every table is at least 6 feet apart so that everyone can enjoy themselves and still be social distanced.
Our bowling centers throughout New York State are safe, clean, and ready to roll again.
Thank you for your patience and understanding. We can't wait to welcome you back to the lanes.
Hi.
Holy storm.
Holy storm. As we're sitting here, and if we were live for that brief moment, I don't know what that sounded like a train.
It sounded like a train, but it was actually a downpour of rain starting, because before it was just the wind a few minutes ago. Now it's pouring. So that's a little.
But it's right on time too. They said that between 12 and 80% to 90% starting about 12 o'clock. So happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
And welcome back to Live from Rabs, from Inside Rabs.
Get out the rowboats.
Episode 114.
Not like we haven't used those on Staten Island.
And that segment was brought to you by the New York State Bowling Pride.
That was wonderful. That was very, very, very well done.
Yeah, kudos to the Lespinas, for putting that together for us, along with the other proprietors from around the state. You're going to see a lot of that. That message is being broadcasted in social media for everyone to see. To basically take a moment, remember that we're here. 2, we're ready to rock and roll, and we need your help. Reach out to our governor's office and say, hey, we need to get our bowling centers back open and ready.
And if you happen to have maybe a political connection, you never know. Make a call. I got a guy. You got a guy. You know.
Don't we all have?
Everybody's got a guy.
Everybody's got a guy. I have to say, we're very fortunate that our elected officials here on Staten Island, on both sides of the aisle, have been very supportive.
Absolutely.
So
that's one thing
we're
that
continuing the conversation.
They've seemed to come together with.
And having personal conversations with a few of them. Very angry. I think we're all at a point where, listen, if you see the post, and we've said it many times, we want everybody to be healthy. We want everybody to do what they have to do and get on with everyday life at the same time. Being aware, it's going to take all of us together to make sure that we can be open and provide the environment that we want to provide, that we've always provided. And without your help, it certainly doesn't help.
Yeah, some guidance on, some guidance would be good. Some guidance as far as, well, when it gets to this infection rate or this, I hate to use the word, this death rate, then we would consider open. But there is no kind of guidance at all. The numbers continue to go down. We just wish that
the only guidance that we have is what they've given everybody else. What was the number? 3%? That was the latest number that that was thrown around on for schools to open. And so you saw yesterday where the governor spoke, even the mayor spoke yesterday and today a little bit about that as well. And I have to say, I didn't tune into the mayor today, but I happened to catch his piece yesterday, which caused a little bit of an uproar, even here in the comments and then afterwards and all over social media. I actually, I think for the first time defended the mayor.
Who was, I missed the mayor. I watched the governor, but I missed the mayor.
So the mayor, he talked about specifically, and we mentioned this yesterday briefly, but expanding and reopening the outdoor dining for next summer.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So
yes.
we actually touched on that. Specifically, somebody's at the door.
Yeah. I just texted Liz and Jimmy.
I didn't think anybody would be coming right now.
He's got an appointment. He's got an appointment with Jimmy.
So what he specifically was referring to was the fact that we've opened up the leniency for outdoor dining with allowing restaurants to utilize the street, the curb, and so that program will continue next summer.
Year.
So people took the screenshot. Here's a rant. They took the screenshot, and this is why people pissed off about fake news. They took the screenshot of outdoor dining, and it said June 21st, 2021, and assumed June 1st, 21, that it would be restaurants are closed until then.
Yes.
That's not what he said, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I don't go to bat for him very often, but he did not deserve the beating that he took. And a lot of people backed off.
And which is something that we talked about was that I think it's a good idea for the restaurants who are able to, it would maybe give them an additional source of income or an additional boost of nightly service or daily service. It's
an opportunity to recoup.
Correct.
So all it was is the lenience, which I think we've talked about it consistently, even with Pam when she's been on the show. Outdoor dining is imperative for the businesses to survive long term. Here are the options. The program's been extended will be extended through the next year. And he did say that June 1st, it could start sooner than June 1st. So obviously we don't know where we're going to be at that point. But I have to say kudos to that team for saying we're going to allow this to be done next year.
Yeah.
The other rumor that's driving some of us batty, that many of these restaurants on Staten Island have lost their liquor licenses. And sadly, one restaurant, which was in our local paper, their liquor license was suspended, not revoked.
Right.
Was suspended, which is all public information. You go to the New York State SLA and you can Google it out. But check it out. Sadly, one restaurant for being stupid, for not following rules.
It's funny because social media is, it's a cesspool. I'm sorry.
It could be wonderful. Like things that we're doing here. It could be absolutely wonderful.
There, next to this beautiful beach and lake is a sewer cesspool. So
it's so sad.
I try to stay out of the sewer cesspool, but I texted you on Saturday, and I was out at dinner, and we had a short discussion because I had heard there were two restaurants, and in actuality there was one, but that's how
not even related
things, nothing to do with one another.
Yeah, and
that's how things spread.
However, if you have friends that are cops and law enforcement that have access to 311 calls or have responded, and you've had conversations, you'll know many of our restaurants are getting calls through 311 for visits, and they're making the visits. They're doing their job. They've all been pretty consistent. The law enforcement's not going to close the business down. However, they're going to have a conversation based on what they see. Now, sadly, some of the phone calls that are being made are a bit much.
Or yes.
Either they're very jealous, either they're upset about something and not relative to what they're calling about. And that's the sad part, is that these restaurants are trying to get up and running and just move ahead.
Right.
And they're stuck by getting these visits. And sadly, they're getting visits constant, more than they should.
Well, it's unfortunate. And, I guess they can't pick and choose. Wow. They can't, it's hard for them.
I don't really like that sound.
Yeah, no, that sounded like something blowing over or
off. No, we got a brand new roof here.
I guess it's hard for them to pick and choose. Oh, we're going to investigate these and ignore these. So they kind of have to go through the list and check out all of them. But come on, people, listen. We're all in a desperate state to save our businesses. And
I said it yesterday, and I'll continue saying it. I just don't want us to be in a position
to have a roof blown off the building.
That too, where these businesses are going to ruin it for the rest of us that are still closed. So the worst thing that can happen is that restaurants in New York City, and that list is pretty large of those that have gotten their licenses suspended.
Yeah. Outside, especially in
throughout the
Manhattan
5 boroughs.
and Brooklyn and
and there's a concentration though in specific areas, and I don't know if it has to do. I don't know what it has to do with.
Right.
But I think a lot of it has to do with those that opted for the street dining and then setting up bars in the street. But the more that they do it, the more they're going to ruin it for us, and that is my concern. Well, we're trying to have this concerted effort that we can operate safely, and
it takes the attention away. It takes the attention away.
No, sadly, in a good way. Sadly, this week it's the education system, and I say sadly because we're trying to grab the attention too, and we can't.
Yeah.
So we just ask you to share that video, write to the governor's office, talk to our elected officials, and it's been great. We should be building lanes out in the parking lot. Well, that wouldn't necessarily work on a day like today.
What would we do with them today?
We talked about putting those. We have the in-school bowling carpets and putting those out in the parking lot. They're designed for kids, but we don't have them. We've in the beginning of this, we donated them for a while to some group homes and organizations so that they can have activity in their space that they would normally get when they come out. So we don't even have them.
Yeah. Well, no good deed goes unpunished, Frank.
No, we might have to go pick them up and start rolling some bowling balls in the parking lot on carpets. Well, happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today. We've got an awesome guest, a great friend. She's been in our industry for quite a long time. Yeah. CEO and founder of Trainertainment, our friend Beth Standlee. Hello, Miss Beth.
Hi, Beth.
I got to tell you how excited I am to be in New York. I'm so pumped to be somewhere else. I realize I'm here in this office in Texas, but it feels like I'm with you. It's been a long time since I've been to Rabs, but I'm thrilled to be there. It feels like I'm there.
I know the last time you were coming, you said Sherry along instead of yourself, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, she's a much cuter replacement. So, but I have been there. I have wonderful, do you not have wonderful video that I use as service video? Showed it 2 weeks ago in our birthday conference that we did virtually. One of your, it's a wonderful video. We must have done it. I don't know, Frankie, was it 2008, 2009, something, maybe a long time ago. I saw that. Are you okay? And we're right down the lanes there, and a party host has got this cute hat on, and she's literally crouched down. Uh-oh. Are you about to lose it? Ooh. Can you hear me? Yeah, we're still connected. Are you still connected? Wow. I'm still here.
No, we can't. In fact, we can't hear you. So give us a moment.
Okay. All right. Oh, is it about to blow y'all away?
We're broken. Yeah.
Wow.
You all right?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Are y'all good? So, anyway, I have a great video of great service and party hosts jumping up and down with the party children from Rabs Country Lanes. Frankie, are we still live? It says we are. I'm going to pull up on Facebook on my phone.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to talking to myself. It feels like that's probably what I was doing, but we could have, it said My note says you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. So that could have been a really weird moment there on Facebook.
That's right. You know what? We couldn't have had a better guest to fill some time to be true professional. And so I was trying to say we couldn't hear you. So we use the setup we've got a TV here, and the TV just keeps going in and out. So I was getting ready to disconnect and then just use the computer. But then that didn't work. We needed to. But hey, we're here. So you were saying, so you have a video it's Christina Verardi.
Yes,
wearing the hat at the
yes.
Bow Line.
Yes, and the little girl is bowling, and it doesn't have anything to do with how many pins she gets. It's the sheer joy of being in this place that she can play with her friends. It was her birthday, and I have a video of it, and Christina and the little girl are helping the ball move. You know, they're thinking their motions with their hands are moving that ball, and then the girl is just elated. And I don't know how I got her, but I got the little girl spread eagle in the air. It's like this perfect picture, and I still use it. I probably shouldn't even say that out loud because I'm pretty sure I don't have permission from her mother to use that picture. But you know, whatever. It's a great picture, and it's
sure
just
find a waiver somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Surely there was a waiver. I'm sure I got a waiver. That's it. It was a really long time ago. But I always, you know, we teach that about parties and sales and groups and leadership and service and all that. And at least once a week, I'm reminded of Rabs. So I love you, Frankie, and I love the job you do. I love the leadership of what you're doing here with this live show is just incredible. I've been incredibly impressed with the work you're doing.
Well, thank you. And I was actually looking for that photo and video before this morning when I was going through all my stuff, and I got to a point and I was like, oh God, I got to keep scrolling, and I just couldn't find it. So if you've got it handy, you got to send it to me because I know I had it. I have a video and the photo.
Yeah.
It's in that folder somewhere, and I just keep scrolling. I'm like, I think, you know, when we have all these files, you have to just start naming them.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Being IMG in a number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it impossible. Yeah, I'll run it down. If I can't find it, I'll send you the PowerPoint that it's embedded in because I know where that is.
Well, you know, Beth, you mentioned about that moment frozen in time. You know, kids being able to play in a place with their friends. And, you know, I have to say that that's one of the things that I know I personally, and I'm sure I could speak to Frankie, that we really, really miss.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there were days where we would just walk up and down and just watch people just have fun. And we
Exactly. It's a miss. You know, our leaders in our nation don't have a way to understand everybody's business. I get that. They totally don't know. What I do know is that the leaders in our business, in this family entertainment space, and especially in a bowling-based environment, we got this. we know how to keep people physically distanced from each other while they're still being able to be social, and they don't understand. They don't have. I think you need to take those bowling carpets and don't put them out in your parking lot, but let's go take them up to Albany. You know, I think I have to admit, and it's probably not a popular New York opinion, but I'm kind of in love with Cuomo. I really relied on his steady hand. This is probably like really not what I should say, but in Texas, Cuomo provided some sanity and some consistency day after day after day. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he at least had a freaking plan that made some logical sense, and he was consistent. And so I think that other leaders in our world could have learned something from his steady hand. And I love you guys. I love New York. I'm stunned that they don't have enough sense that our bowling centers can be open. And I think if you would take those in-school bowling carpets, put them 6 foot apart up at the Capitol, I think would come out, and
we're gonna road trip it.
I think we could do that. I think we need to do it. I might get on a plane and come do it with you if you want to do it, because I can bug the living crap out of people till they talk to. I mean, seriously.
Oh, you know, it's funny because we talk about we stay away from politics as a whole.
Yes.
However, during this, I will agree with you. During this, they're good and bad. When you live here, it's a different story. So I almost want to say, hey, ship them off to Texas and you can have them along with our mayor. But at the same time, the one thing is that we've been consistent. There's been the slow, we've flattened the curve. It's been slow rollouts. Great. But to the point that you made, I'm a firm believer in using your experts. And where they've gone wrong is that they're not using the experts in each of the industries.
Yes.
So, I go back even I look at the guidance for the restaurants. Now, restaurant groups have submitted plans, and they used many of them. But then, there's just some stupid things that are not being taken in consideration. It's just interesting. But use your experts. So in this point, we've submitted plans. We're doing what we can, sharing that message, and that's the best that we can do. Somebody go sue them. That's not for us.
That doesn't.
That's a waste of money, in my opinion.
It is, and energy. We got to do the positive things. I was just working on an article this morning, and I made mention on a peer talk last week about the change in mindset. Instead of why is this happening to me, to change your mindset and think about why is this happening for me. Right. And I mean, immediately, it brings goosebumps. It gives me energy. It opens me up. I can breathe and I can start getting creative. And, I was talking to a friend of mine up in New York, in Rochester, and for whatever reason, he fits in this category because he has a laser tag facility, and they got to open. And, it was awesome because he said, we opened Thursday to Sunday. And when would I have ever even considered that?
Right.
And our profitability is just amazing because I don't have payroll. I don't have that controllable cost Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday where nobody's really here. And he said, I would have never done that. I couldn't have even had a way to think of it if not for this. And it's just incredible. So anyway, there's a lot of good things that can come.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think we're heading in that direction, just slower than we truly want to. And I get it. I'm the first person to say, flip the script, put yourself in the other shoes.
True, right?
And not just the decision maker's shoes, the shoes of somebody who may not understand or is thinking of the complete opposite of us.
Right.
And I could think of all the reasons, I can understand all the reasons why they think.
But
hey,
that's why you surround yourself.
These are businesses that shouldn't be open.
But they don't know. They can't know our business.
Right. And that's where I say you have to lean on the experts. Anyway, hey, speaking of experts, because you are the expert in your field,
yes.
I want you to. So first, for our guests, because now you've been sitting here for 10 minutes and we haven't talked about who the hell you are and what the hell that you do. So the founder and CEO of Trainertainment, now a woman-owned and operated business, because I know you're proud of that.
Yeah, and
over. It was. You know what? I was doing under and over on the book mention.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. Did you win? It was really quick. Well, you can see in the background, I even have a stand back there.
So. I love it. So talk about Trainertainment. So how many years ago did you start Trainertainment now?
2005.
Oh. So 15
does it seem like it was that long ago, or does it seem longer?
Beth, I have honestly, I have no sense of time anymore. I really don't.
I know. You were a baby.
I was.
He was a baby.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Yeah, you are. I agreed. That's always what I admired so about you.
2005, you started this business, and because you saw something. So talk about how you started Trainertainment and what Trainertainment is.
Yeah, so I got addicted to the game of bowling in about 92. And did I lose y'all, or you only meant to focus on me? Oh, brother. Okay, so got addicted to the game of bowling. And so I'm a real bowler, which is something a lot of people don't necessarily know about my history. I have a 298 to my name, and a 205 was the highest average I booked. And figured out that I couldn't really make money bowling. I wasn't that good. And I started working in the industry. So I would work as sweeper, if you can believe this. I'd work as sweeper at night. And this friend of mine would bowl, and then we would swap, and she would work the late shift and I would bowl, and I bowled lots of tournaments, and I went to work for, helped reopen a place in the Dallas-Fort Worth area called the Bronco Bowl. It had a real old history. Bruce Springsteen opened it. We had a 3,000 square foot arena, 3,000 seated arena, and Bruce Springsteen opened. And then I moved and went to work for Neil Huffauer, pre-main event here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I was fascinated by the business. I mean, this is in the mid to late 90s, and, things were really changing in the business, and entertainment was a big deal. At FunFest, we managed to put systems together where we were doing about 75 to 100 birthday parties a week, and about 40 to 70 group events every single month. I had a long time history in Tupperware, so I had a big sales background, and so I naturally transitioned into those sales management roles, moved into a national sales director role for a larger organization that had more traditional centers across the South and Southeast, and then started selling CapEx in this industry. So sold capital equipment, consulted and sold capital equipment for about 5 years, and woke up in April with things changing like crazy, and frustrating. When you sell software and hardware, it's not really plug and play. If anybody's upgraded their systems, you really know it's not plug and play. And as a sales rep, I really took it very personally if things didn't work, and it was super hard. I learned a lot. Selling CapEx is a lot different than selling bowls or selling events, and it was a critical part of my growth and in my career. But what I decided was, I had this entrepreneurial seizure in 2005 that was like, you know what? People are buying this CapEx because I'm helping them book group and party events. So why don't I make a training company? Why don't I do that and go help people know what I know to do? And then if it doesn't work and they yell at me, well, that'll be fair because it was my fault, right? And it was wonderful, Frankie, because I had been in the industry, I had been in and around, and I had made lots and lots of friends. And it's so funny. All the time I'll be working with a new team member or something. I'll say, well, my real good friend, Frankie, and my good friend, Dawn, and my good friend, Mandy. And somebody will say, well, are you good friends with everybody? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I think so.
I do that all the time. We're friendly people.
Yeah.
Well, we are, and it's the essence of like in the sales process. I think connection is the most important thing. I don't think selling's about doing something to people. I think it's doing something for them, and I think being able to be connected to them is the most important thing. And so, yeah, I feel like I had made a lot of good relationships, and it was really funny because when I created Trainertainment, because I'd been a face in the industry for a long time, a lot of people knew me already. And I got to tell you, if you ever want to start something, here's what you should for sure do. Go ask people why they would do business with you. That's a real uplifting experience, because people can be very generous and tell you things you didn't even know. And it was so great. I swear that first year, and I don't know if it's because I was looking for it or because it was truth or because it was God or whatever you want to label it, right? But every single day when I made the decision, I'm going to quit my 6-figure sales job and I'm going to start a business, I told Jerry, I think this is what I want to do, honey. What do you think? He said, that's not a good idea. Because, that's how Jerry is. Man, a few words. Yeah, I turned my notice. Well, you can't get any words in, yeah. I turned my notice in the next day and just just never looked back. And I swear to God, what happened is somebody said something amazing every stinking day. And it was like this affirmation of, oh yeah, you're doing the right thing. And so I got to looking for it. And I got to cataloging it. I would write it down. Every time it would happen, I would put it in my journal. And so I had like a year or 2 years because it happened every single day. And it was awesome. And it really kept me inspired. It really kept me motivated. It kept me focused. You know, I mean, being in business, this is a crazy time to be in business, right? Everybody thinks being the business owner is, boy, that's what you want to be. Well, it's because they've never been the business owner.
We're all filthy rich.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we all have all the money. What they don't know is if somebody need not get paid, if we need to conserve cash, it is a business owner with no thought. Well, we just want to take our check, and that's not like, oh, look at us. That's what needs to be done, and that's what I'm gonna do today. You know. So, but yeah, that's how it started.
So you've built this. Now you've built this. I'll call it the empire. So Beth's little empire.
Love it. Yeah.
Your team has grown.
Yes.
And I've watched it. I know it's funny, but you know, being a client, you know, you watch a company grow from
Beth and
from you. You know, then you brought in Jay and you brought in some others, and then here we are today with a team of how many now?
Well, we have 7 right now. It's 7, and then a couple of contractors as well. So,
and that's so. But those are people that are out hitting the streets and telling your story and training. So, so now Trainertainment. As a client, I hire you to do, and I could hire you to do many things. But so what am I coming to Trainertainment for? What is it that you're providing that nobody else provides?
Well, I feel like we provide a real strong platform for coaching and training in sales, service, and leadership. And you can come to that online, on site, or ongoing. That's like the easiest way that I can explain it. What we really grew our business from initially was sales coaching. And so that's a real intense week-to-week coaching call, key performance indicators. It's hard to figure out how to hold a sales team accountable. You just want your sales team to go do the work. And we have those real in-depth strategies to help manage and coach and deliver results. And I think we were able to build the business on that platform because sales is easy to measure, right? You either got better and you grew your sales or you didn't. And so the risk reward is pretty good in that sales coaching piece and pretty easy to see and to prove, you know. We've also opened way over 100 new center projects. So we have a full in-depth 16-week project management program where we hire and train everybody from the GM to the frontline cashier, party host, etc. In 2014, we started running our own company using the entrepreneurial operational system put out by Gino Wickman. What Wickman did, EOS, what Wickman did is he took all those great management strategies that Vern Harnish and Patrick Lencioni and Jack Welch and all those, you know, you've read all those books, right? And he took all of that stuff and he put it in the system that wild-eyed visionaries who every time we see a new thing, we go try that, and then we try that, and we try that. And he put it, your co-host is going, because she lives with you. And he put it in this system. And so it really makes wide-eyed entrepreneurs have a process that they can stick to. So we're still running our company this way. And what happened in 6 months of running my company this way, it was 2014. That's when Jerry was first diagnosed with cancer. And honestly, if my company had not been in that system, I have no idea how we would have survived, you know? And so in June, I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do this. We have to implement. We have to help other people do that. So the business coaching side of our business has really evolved. And I personally have worked very hard on leadership always, but especially over the last 6 years. So sales coaching, business coaching, either one of those models, we're going to help you with. They have a big platform in helping grow your party and your group sales. And if you want to be a better leader, if you want your organization to be more culturally fit for the team you have, if you want to quit talking about the same old and not solving your problems, then you should do business coaching. They can get a peek at that. We're doing a little mini clinic on the 18th and 19th of August. And so we're doing a virtual business coaching conference. So afternoon, 3 hours on Tuesday the 18th, and then 2 sessions on Wednesday. So they can go to the website. It's right there up front. Sign up for a conference. So be a good way to. That's a cheap, easy way to get a look at what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and it's our dear friend Mandy Hawes just says, don't forget your birthday roots.
Exactly. Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Mandy was one of our very first customers. Mandy's been in every program. Mandy's had sales coaching. She's had business coaching. She's been a private coaching client and a dear. She is way up on the friend list for sure. And the first thing she did, she was very new. I don't think she got the bowling center to about 05 or 06. And the very first thing she wanted to do is, how do I make my birthdays the best birthday parties in Oklahoma? And man, she did it. She absolutely did it.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because you talk about coming in the industry in 05, 06, and I remember having conversations and specifically about the party business. And, it's very easy to get very stagnant and just doing what you were doing. Right. And, I'll never forget. So Beth comes and we're just at this point open-minded and looking at what we do because we've been doing it for a long time. Right. And Beth starts asking questions. And, it's very easy for you to get very defensive when a consultant asks you questions.
Right.
And one of my favorite questions, she goes, why the hell do you give him 2 slices of pizza? That little kid ain't going to eat 2 slices of pizza.
Well, they were this big. I never saw pizza so big in New York.
and her and I are standing outside of that party room, and she goes, I'd be damned. 2 slices of pizza.
I'll never forget it. Yeah.
And it's funny because I believe you have to bring the experts in to help you get outside. It's very easy to stay within the 4 walls of what you know.
Oh, yeah.
And part of the reason why we've gotten involved in many things over the years, Nazareth too, is so that you could see outside the 4 walls and know. Because just because you do thinks you does well for you at some point,
it doesn't mean that you can't do better and you can't do it better.
So as a result of bringing somebody like Beth in, we totally transformed the party. We didn't completely change the product, but we transformed the product to be a little bit more profitable because at the same time, we were having this conversation about including a birthday cake in a package. Right. And what happens when you include a birthday cake in a package? It's one of the biggest fights that we ever had. Yeah. If I want to spend $200 on a cake, why can't I bring my own? Right. You know what? Go ahead. Oh, do I get a discount if I bring my own?
No, this is not part of our package. But you know what? That question stopped once we got past the repeat people.
Yeah.
Once we got people past, well, this is what we're used to. That question doesn't even get asked anymore.
No.
I will tell you the thing that struck me with Beth when she came in, and she asked, well, how many do you do a week? Or how many do you do in a day? And, we told her, we explained why we spaced it out the way she did. Well, you could do 3 times that in that amount of time. And I was like, whoa.
We did change. We still have, there's still a philosophy that we believe in, right? With the business. And every business has a philosophy in how you want to operate and the way you operate whatever piece of that business. And we looked at it and looked at the scheduling. And so she goes, well, why aren't we doing a party here and here?
Right.
Why not? And so we took that and expanded it. We could expand it even further if we change the philosophy and the mindset a little bit.
Correct.
And at the same time, I'm not against it. But you know what? It really depends. And I will tell you today, the party business tomorrow, when we reopen, is certainly not going to be the same as it was before. Yeah. And that's something I wanted to talk to share with Beth. Because so Beth, one of the things, you've got clients from all over the world, which is awesome. Yeah. And every time I go to a bowl expo, and I've been to IAPA, and you're there, and you're talking to clients or prospective clients, you're having these conversations, and I love when an existing client comes over, and she brings you in the conversation. Ask him about it.
Right.
Ask her about it, and then they look at you like you're crazy. I'm going, okay. I know how to sell Beth. Do I need to sell Beth? Does she just want me to answer a question? What does she want? And it's just having a conversation and meeting new people.
Right.
But the point, you meet so many people, and during this, you've been very creative, not only to keep as well keeping your brand top of mind, but you've created this Wednesday peer talks, where people in all of the industries can get together and have conversations. So, from your seat, because it's very different than just being in the trenches, which you're in the trenches.
Yeah.
What are you seeing? And you're seeing everything, but in Beth's world, how do you surmise what we're going through and what you're seeing from all of our fellow businesses? I took a long time to get there, but
you got there.
Yeah. So it's interesting. In peer talk, it absolutely is a space. It's a real safe space where people can talk about, have questions. People have been very generous with their, this is what we did last week. We did get open. We didn't get open. We did this much percentage of our total revenue from prior year. We found out, this and that. The thing that I did not want Peer Talk to be a place where people came with that, ain't it awful mindset, right? And so from the outset, I think that that's kind of helped drive the conversation. And it's interesting because while we have some ideas and some training, we don't know what you all know. I literally had this, how passionate I can get, Frankie.
No.
Yeah, can you believe it? I'm like, people are going to want to get together and groups are going to want to party with the people they know. Everybody's going to try, blah, blah, blah. And then I had to go, we probably ought to really focus on groups of 10, because the reality is, I had a wait, I'm wrong. And the reality is, I think birthdays might be okay, except one of the things that we're learning in answer to your question, what are you seeing, is people have gotten brave enough to book birthday parties and then they're canceling. And I think one of the reasons they're booking and then canceling is because they can't gather their friends up. You've got 30% of the friends that'll come. You'll have 30% of the friends that won't come, and then maybe a split in the middle. And so that makes it kind of tough. None of us can run our businesses well on 25 or 30% of the population. And so we're learning that. And I think one of the things I feel like I'm personally learning is we all want the same things. We want to be open. We want to be safe. We want to be healthy. Everybody wants the same thing. And when we can agree about how that will work, then things will get better. And I don't know what has to happen there. I'm very concerned that we may lose 30 to 50% of our businesses. Yep. In the same vein, some of those are going to be awesome. Like we have a client who literally is going to do better to go ahead and sell her business. She inherited her business from her husband, who's passed away. She's done beautiful. She's made lots of money over the last 6 years. She can sell her property. She has a buyer and make 10 times her profit. So she's 70. And so she can get all of her profit. She can get all of her profit that it would take her 10 years of heartache and headache and put the money in the bank.
Right.
So to me, like I try to think about it, and what I'm seeing is that the people are thinking about unintended outcomes are way ahead of the game than the people thinking of unintended consequences. As business owners, we have to be smart, and we have to, I'm not saying stick your head in the sand and be Pollyanna and hope, hope's not a strategy, that it's all going to work out. You got to be wise. But I do think that looking for what good outcomes are there. We've had a lot of movement in our own company, You know, my dear friend Mary, who was director of operations, has gone back into the classroom. You know, she was a teacher, and Mary is a person who needs certainty. And when they sign a contract with her, she is certain she's going to get paid, you know, and so that's good for Mary. So I'm seeing that people are doing a good job, hopefully, of making good decisions. Let me say it this way. The people who are doing a good job, not doing ain't it awful, woe is me, those people are faring much better and have the ability to make much better decisions. What you're doing here, Frankie, about being out front, making sure people still see y'all are there, and you're there for them. Like, you can't wait. And you're not crying and moaning about how awful it is. Those people are doing better. And those people will be here. And I don't think you guys are just going to survive this. I think you'll thrive. So that's what I'm saying. The ain't it awfuls, I'm concerned about them. And I think they're going to be part of the 30 to 50% that shrink. And that's pretty bad. But I don't think it has to be the end of the world. So how's that for an answer?
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
hear it, but
That was perfect.
we had a power blip.
Well, there you go.
Can you hear us now?
What else? I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, so, and I have this, and Robin, of course, pops in and she says that you've been great about maintaining a positive atmosphere during peer talk. And it's so true, you and your team, and Robin included.
Oh, Robin's amazing. Everybody needs a Robin, but you can't have my Robin. Okay?
Well, you took her from me.
Oh, sorry. No, I did, didn't I? No, she left. She left USBC first. Okay.
She did.
I didn't tell her.
Robin was with USBC for several years, and then she moved into an executive admin role, and her and I got to work hand in hand together, and she's just awesome.
She is amazing.
The awesome thing about what you've done with that is the fact that, one, I haven't been able to get on until recently, till we changed the show time, because it's every Wednesday at 2 p.m. And so I was so excited to be able to pop in for the first one a couple weeks ago. And it really is positive, and it's nice to get to hear what others are doing, getting ideas. I remember I did hear some of the facilities based on where they're at, different ordinances, how they're operating. I believe it was there where somebody said their party business isn't going to look the same, but they're doing bowling activity, but then eating outdoors because they can't.
Oh yeah, yes,
you know,
yeah.
They're doing different things to make that work with the best of what they have.
Right.
And I think that's going to be, we're going to have a lot of that over the next, it's not a year at least.
We're going to have to be creative. We're going to have to be creative. We're going to have to be, the words that really stand out to me, I watched Traction Pros. I don't know if you've seen Matt Heller's stuff, but he's so good. And he did a article about lessons from executives, and the words that kept popping up over and over and over again was nimbleness, flexibility, being able to adapt. Like, those have to be the order of the day. If you're too rigid, if you can't be nimble, if you can't be flexible, if you can't figure out how to adapt, you're going to be miserable. And I think life is too short. Listen, because we have cancer in my house, we've had to do shutdowns and shut-offs and all that kind of stuff for years. And this is a cakewalk. If it ain't cancer, it's with it. Yeah.
Without a doubt. And we were talking about the restaurants before, and they've been the first ones to have that ability to have to be creative because they have no choice.
Yeah.
We're going to learn a lot from them. And at the same time, as again, we've been very consistent. I think that's going to be the new hashtag here, very consistent. You have to be creative in order to move forward. Two, because we're going to be one of the last industries to open, we're going to learn so much more from everybody else.
Right. What's
mistakes
working and what's not working.
And the things that are working. So, do we want to sit here and much longer? Absolutely not. We know we can move forward, and we need to move forward. Yeah.
I know. I think it's complicated to have to juggle through being closed. However, if you can skip a phase that says, oh, you can only have 25% capacity, you may be a whole lot better off.
And we talked, we talked about that.
Well, and some people won't. And some people will look at 25% capacity and say, well, I can't pay my bills at 25%.
Right.
And I would think, we're one of those. I mean, 25% isn't enough, but for a short period of time, to your point, it's better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah, potentially. And you know what's kind of cool is I have a client that at 50% capacity, they're looking, and I have known this and worked the numbers 9 ways to Sunday, and except for Saturday, maybe when you're completely packed, 50% capacity would be pretty freaking awesome, you know. And they first opened, and it was amazing because at 50% capacity, like bowling was like 59% of prior year. So what that means is with half the number of people, they performed in the bowling revenue alone 9% higher than the year before. And the arcade was like 138%. And so you're like, whoa, okay. You know, so listen, it can work. We are going to have to be extremely creative. I really think you need to take bowling carpets up to Albany. Put them right out there. If they can take guns and go to the Capitol in Michigan, I think bowling carpets could make a really big statement. You know, roll on in.
We had a group from Staten Island go up to the Capitol yesterday. Different people that have lost people to COVID, and from all different arenas. A friend of ours specifically who had somebody in a nursing home, and they believed in their message and go for it and go tell it. And so it gets heard. And that's part of the thing with what we're trying to do. We want to be heard. We know we're being heard. Just continue to push the message. So I'm going to share that idea with our friends, and maybe we'll go and do it. So
awesome.
Because it's always, I want to come back to Beth because it's always about Beth, and it should be, especially now. Hey, so over the years, you've written your manuals. You've done some great work to help
the book.
Well, that's where I'm getting. So you said I'm gonna pen, and you've talked about penning a book for a long time.
I did, yeah.
So you finally did it. I want you to talk about the book.
Oh man, well, it was a labor of love for sure. I want to help. I want to have an influence. You know, I want to make a difference. Oh my Lord!
Sorry. What are you?
Okay, so I want to help. I want to make a difference, and thank you. And I know speaking. I know I have an impact, and speaking and training makes a difference. But man, when you write it down, when you, I mean, like that's forever, and so people can consume and get that anytime they want it, and so. You know, I had to get a coach to finally help me do it. I've been writing articles and newsletters for all 15 years. I publish a monthly column for Replay magazine, and so I had lots and lots and lots of content. What I didn't have is how do I put that content together? How do I tell a story that's compelling enough to read or to listen to, and so I hired a coach to help. As a matter of fact, my friend, many of you guys know Joe Schumacher. He sent me this lady's book. Her name's Nancy Erickson, and the title of her book is How to Stop Stalling and Start Writing Your Book. I'll tell you, I don't know if you know this, Frankie, but I'm a big Zig Ziglar fan.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the opportunity to go meet Zig, and it was late in his life, and they had a Monday morning, like kind of devotional. And my dear friend Nancy Starr, who was my mentor, kind of got me set up. Tom Ziegler, Tom's son, I linked up with him on LinkedIn and told him how important Zig was to me. And I got an invitation to go to that devotional. And it was crazy because I didn't know if I could be in there because like he's like this hero, and I'm such a ball bag, you know. I'm a crybaby. And I thought I can't even be in the same room, you know. But I did well. And then when it was over, Tom, his son, said, "Beth, come sit here with Dad." And so then I'm like, oh my gosh. And the first question he asked me was, why haven't you gotten your book written? And so, and that was several years before I got the darn book published, but it really was impactful. And so, you know what, I decided that the most important thing that I could share with people is that you have the ability to make a difference in your own life. And you do that by connecting with others, by having meaningful conversations with others. I made my way in the world because I learned how to sell stuff, and I told my story. And if you've read the book, you know that I set out like lots of people do and went to college and got my MRS the first year and my MOM shortly thereafter. And so I think that's a reasonably compelling story. Teenage pregnant bride to CEO, and all the better jobs in there probably are mom and wife and that stuff, or at least the harder jobs. But that we all, I mean, listen, I grew up in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and we all have an opportunity to do what we want to do. And my feeling is if this could touch anybody's life, but particular one young woman's life, so that she would know, I'm gonna go be what I want to be, then it might make a difference. Sorry. How embarrassing. I didn't know I was going to do that. Oh, good. Are y'all frozen so nobody's seeing me cry? Yay. Okay, good.
We're here.
Oh, now you're in the dark.
We officially lost power.
I can see that. I can see you barely. Where did I finish?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, what I said, if I can make a difference in one young woman's life with this book and give her a strategy about how to build her financial future, that it can make a difference in her financial future and freedom. So there you have it.
Well, I love it. And so the book sits on my shelf. I've read through it and I love it. You did a great job in telling those stories. And so check out Beth's book. I was in the process of, I believe, I was getting ready to do this.
It's on Amazon.
Cool.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's also on if you want a signed copy, you can order it from the Trainertainment website, and I'll sign it and send it to you.
Cool. Check that out. She's going to sign the book too now.
Oh, well, I'm getting one.
I will send you one. Don't you? I'll send you one.
I've got an autographed copy, but Naz, I think should want her own copy.
Yeah. Send Naz
just
a copy.
Oh, that's fine. I was actually gonna
move. You want to just do you?
No. I'm actually no. The camera's working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got the camera on, so
I can see you.
We just can't see it on the TV, so we're just seeing it on the computer.
Okay.
That's all that matters. So, the funny part about this, we just replaced batteries in these emergency lights.
Oh.
And now we're going to have to buy more. What a waste of money.
Maybe the lights will come back on.
One day.
Maybe they'll come on right away. Come on, guys.
Are you safe?
Okay. Put it in the universe.
Do you think you're safe? Are you safe? Uh-oh.
Like it did before. Before it sounded like a hurricane.
Yeah. Looks like we froze.
Yeah, I have it frozen on here.
Yeah, I think you're frozen.
Oh, God.
I was just looking at it. Oh, well, I don't know. I was trying to look at it on.
Oh.
There you are. I can see you.
Wait, you're not frozen anymore. Can you see us? Wait, can you hear us again? Can you hear us? So,
I can
well, I'm
see
not
you.
doing anything now since we've lost power. But you know, Beth, we're sorry, but this has been fun.
Well, it has been fun. It has. Thank you. Thank you for
No, thank you. I just, it's funny. Nazareth yesterday sent me a message and said, "Well, what are we going to do about tomorrow? Are you concerned about the weather?" I said, "It's rain. I mean, we've gone through this before." But I wasn't anticipating a power outage.
Yeah, well, the worst storm since Sandy. You remember Sandy,
Yeah, and,
right?
and it was, we had the full moon yesterday, so that doesn't. That doesn't help. That certainly doesn't help. This.
Are you safe?
Well, Beth, we really appreciate you taking the time with us today. We love you. You're awesome.
She is.
And I know I look forward to seeing you and our friends tomorrow on Peer Talks.
Good.
And, we'll just... We're going to ride through this.
Hey, buddy, I think we're good. I have no idea if you can hear or see me, but it looks like we're done. Bye, guys.
Uh-oh. Only us. Oh, look. Well, we lost Beth there. Beth, love you. Thank you.
A little more of a scary time. They might not have electric. So
see you tomorrow here on livefromrabs.
Yep.
12 noon. If you're outside, umbrella's not going to work.
Yeah.
Umbrella's going to blow away. But wear your mask.
And don't touch your face.
Don't touch your face. But in the meantime, we will see you tomorrow. And
I